When the monkeypox outbreak happened in May, disinformation targeting the LGBTQ community skyrocketed online. And now social media platforms, specifically Twitter, are being accused of facilitating the spread of homophobic hate speech. And according to this study by ISD, anti-LGBTQ narratives were used on Twitter to specifically target gay men as the source of the outbreak and even falsely present them as a danger to children. And this report claims that Twitter failed to stop this. And it all started a few weeks ago when the first cases of monkeypox were confirmed in children in the US. And that's when right-wing commentators suggested, without any proof, that they must have been infected by sexual interactions with gay men. And this all plays into this false narrative that LGBTQ people are groomers. And this disinformation was further fueled by politicians, for example, the US Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. And Twitter has recently banned the use of the word groomer, but only in cases when it's used as a slur against non-binary and trans people. But according to Aoife Gallagher, the analyst that wrote the report, Twitter's measures are simply not enough.
You can't really ban one word in a very strict kind of sense when you're talking about all these conversations that are going on social media. And Twitter is still hosting some of the most vile accounts that are propagating these ideas.
And so ISD found that certain Twitter users have managed to circumvent the ban by, for example, taking out a few letters from the word groomer. And these hate-filled narratives are quite alarming. In May, the UNAIDS program raised the alarm that stigmatizing language around monkeypox could fuel homophobic hate speech, similar to what we saw with the AIDS epidemic in the 80s. And we've reached out to Twitter for a comment, and this is what they replied. While we have made recent strides in giving people greater control to manage their safety, we know there is still work to be done as our product, policy and engineering teams continue to work at scale and pace to build a healthier Twitter. But for Aoife Gallagher, Twitter statements are just empty words.
These statements are they're hot air in a lot of ways. What it really shows, again, is the fact that Twitter doesn't really understand how these campaigns work. And it just kind of keeps showing that they're, as much as they say that they're doing their best, I really don't think they are.
And so now public health authorities are increasingly reconsidering their health messaging around monkeypox in order to avoid further stigmatization of the LGBTQ community.